Good habits are useful no matter who you are, but especially for people with ADHD. See, one of the effects ADHD has on the brain is time blindness, or the poor estimation of time. Another effect is when there's too many things to do, people with ADHD get overwhelmed and end up doing little to nothing as a result. Having routines, in other words, a series of habits, solves both of these problems. Since habits are by definition consistent, time estimation is unnecessary, as you have already done and know how long the routine will take. From personal experience, I don't get overwhelmed. I think this is because instead of having to plan everything in your head, you can focus on the task at hand. After all, the rest of the routine is already figured out. If your routine is extremely consistent, such as a morning routine, you can go as far as to make a list of everything you have to do. This helps because it takes everything you need to do out of your brain, so you don't have to worry about forgetting anything. This all sounds great, but starting habits is a difficult thing to do. But if that's the case, then why do some routines come easy? I don't know about you, but for me, my morning routine comes naturally now, and I don't even remember struggling to start doing it. But when you think about it, it's obvious. With an alarm, I have to wake up at 7 a.m. every day, and I have to be at school by 8:25 whether I want to or not. And that's the key. When there are systems in place to make you show up for the school, the gym, etc., you show up whether you want to or not. This is the idea of an accountability partner. If you work out alone, it's easy to skip a day, which turns into a week, which turns into forever. But if you go to the gym with a friend, you keep each other accountable. You don't want to show them your week, right? I like to think of accountability as a fail-safe for your future judgment. There are always times when we're discouraged, and that's okay. But having someone or something there to keep you accountable turns what would be quitting into an unproductive few days. Another common strategy we hear is to start out easy. If you want to work out, start with one push-up. In the beginning, the struggle is going to the gym in the first place. If you make the exercises hard right off the bat, it's too much to handle, making you quit. But if you have patience to get the consistency down before you start challenging yourself, it's easier to stick through it. Build the habit before you build the muscle. With habits, the longer you have them, the harder they are to break. This is often used in a negative sense, but the same is true for habits you want to continue. When the workouts get hard, you're way less likely to quit a year in rather than if it was only the third day. When you start a habit, the most important part is keeping it, even over seeing progress. Think of the days consistent with this habit as progress. A common mistake when starting habits is not making a consistent time to do them. While it's great that you could do one push-up at 10:54 on a Monday night, I doubt you could keep that consistent at that time of day. Another mistake is planning every little thing before day one. As long as you have a rough idea for what you're going to do, that's enough for starting out. Tweaking your routine is a lot easier than starting one. It's all about the momentum. Starting from zero is a lot harder than already moving, even if it isn't fast enough to win the race. With routines, it's really easy to fill your day with productivity. This is harmful because with all of the quote-unquote toxic productivity advice, we lose sight of what productivity really is. I think Ruff explained this well.
I think the issue is that most people don't understand what productivity means. Productive doesn't mean you're working all day. Productive just means you're doing something for your future self. So in that way, sleep is productive. Socializing with people is productive.
If you don't include relaxation into your day, you'll still experience burnout, ultimately failing your goals. While you might feel like you can just stick through it, very few people have the ability to follow through on that. And even if you are one of those people, which you probably aren't, you'll have a much nicer experience if every now and then you take a few hours to sit back, relax, and get angry at new Marvel movies. It's great that you're feeling motivated, but to build new habits, you'll need a plan for when that burst of motivation wears off. Right now, you need to make decisions to keep your future self on track to achieve your goals. Strong emphasis on right now. The only way to make sure change happens is to do it right now. Get the accountability partner, set the alarm, and make the plan to do the first push-up. This video didn't change anything for you. You have to make that change yourself. Close this video, get up, and start the change. You'll have a routine you're proud of in no time. Actually, about a few weeks, give or take. Subscribe.